Carla Connor, Allison King, is in for a terrifying week on Coronation Street as a shocking discovery sends her world into turmoil. The factory boss has been on edge ever since her murderous brother, Rob Donovan, Mark Bayless, escaped from custody, and now it seems the nightmare may finally be over. But at what cost? Carla has been struggling to move on after the chaos Rob left behind. Having agreed to donate a kidney to save her life, Rob used the opportunity to make his daring escape, leaving a trail of destruction in his wake. Not only did he abandon his promise to help his sister, but he also put her life, along with that of his girlfriend, DS Lisa Swain, Vicky Myers, in serious danger. Lisa had tricked Rob into believing that she could get his conviction overturned if he went through with the operation. But once he realized he had been played, Rob lashed out in fury. His anger reached a terrifying peak when he attacked Lisa, grabbing her phone and beating her unconscious. Carla, horrified by his brutal actions, fought back, pushing her brother down a flight of stairs. At that moment, both women believed he was dead. In the immediate aftermath, Lisa, fearing for Carla's safety, made a desperate decision. She instructed her colleague, DC Kit Green, Jacob Roberts, to take Carla to the hospital and leave the crime scene as it was. But by the time Kit returned, Rob had vanished. He had somehow survived the fall and seized the opportunity to make his escape. Now, weeks later, Carla is trying to return to some sense of normalcy. Determined to get back to work at Underworld, she reassures herself that Rob is out of sight, especially after a recent police report suggested that he had been spotted in Brighton. But just as she starts to breathe a little easier, something happens that sends her spiraling back into fear. When she arrives home one evening, she immediately senses that something is wrong. The door is slightly open, and as she steps inside, her worst fears are confirmed. Someone has broken in. The place has been ransacked, and Carla quickly realizes that both cash and her painkillers are missing. Given everything that has happened, she is certain of one thing: Rob has been here. Lisa, however, isn't convinced. With the police still searching for Rob, she questions why he would risk coming back to Weatherfield. It would be reckless for him to return while he remains one of the most wanted men in the country. But Carla can't shake the feeling that her brother is lurking somewhere nearby. She is determined to find answers, but the tension only continues to rise when Lisa discovers something even more alarming. The following day, Lisa becomes frantic when she realizes that her teenage daughter, Betsy Swain, Sidney Martin, never came home the night before. Panic sets in immediately as she fears the worst. Could Rob have taken her? Lisa's terror grows as she tries to get hold of Betsy, only for the teenager to eventually stroll through the door, looking worse for wear. With a hangover from a night of partying, Betsy brushes off her mother's concern. But Lisa is in no mood for her daughter's defiance. She warns her that it's far too dangerous for her to be out alone, especially with Rob on the loose. True to teenage form, Betsy rolls her eyes at her mother's worries and ignores her pleas. But soon, she realizes Lisa was right to be afraid. While walking through the precinct later that day, Betsy becomes aware of an eerie presence behind her. At first, she tries to ignore it, assuming it's just paranoia. But when she picks up her pace, the person behind her does the same. The chilling realization sets in: someone is following her. Heart pounding, Betsy glances over her shoulder and is met with a shocking sight. It's Rob. As the week progresses, Lisa is faced with a disturbing development that could change everything. She receives word that a body has been found near the hospital, one that could very well belong to Rob. The police need someone to identify it, and Lisa turns to Carla for help. Despite everything her brother has done, Carla feels a deep sense of dread. As much as she has feared Rob, he is still family, and the idea of seeing him lifeless is difficult to process. She reluctantly agrees to go to the mortuary, knowing that she needs to face the truth. As she steps into the cold, clinical room, her stomach knots with anxiety. The moment she has been dreading has arrived. The sheet is pulled back, and Carla forces herself to look. But is it really Rob lying on the slab? Or is there another shocking twist waiting for her? One thing is certain: Carla Connor's ordeal is far from over.